Hi, my name's Lance Lewin, and I'm
The product manager of a product line called Domino. It stands for Double Moisture and Oil Sensor. I'm here today to introduce you to a new product in that series called the Ultimate Sampling System, as it says on the case here. This product will allow you to do a multitude of functions in the field, and it is truly a portable instrument. So let's talk first about what we call the Ultimate Sampling System, or USS, really is. It's actually a combination of tools to allow you to sample not only transformer mineral oils, but also other dielectric liquids as well, such as silicones, biofluids, also called natural esters, aged oils, and even things like the dew point of gases, or SF6. So let's take a look at the components and see what's available to you. The first thing we should discuss is the actual double case that the Domino USS is housed in. As you can see, it's a hard molded case that resists many impacts. In addition, it has oil resistant foam that's part of the case itself. The indicator is housed in this hole here. The toolbox is housed over here, and the oil probe that belongs to the moisture and oil sensor belongs here. These two pockets are actually empty for the basic kits, but as you can see, they're expandable to hold more oil probes or a dew point probe if necessary. Here we have a pocket for the instruction manual, and here we have the oil sampling manifold. Over in this corner we have the AC adapter with the plug. Now that we've just discussed the case, we can move on to discussing more of the product. Right now we basically have three types of systems, but they're all expandable. The first type of system is what we call our moisture and oil system, which basically consists of one moisture and oil probe, which we have here, and an indicator, which provides us with the readouts from the moisture and oil probe. For now, let's take our other sensors out of the box so we can discuss the moisture and oil sensor. As you can see, our oil probe consists of a protective cap that it comes shipped with. Once it comes, you don't really have to worry about it too much. You can either retain it or you can throw it away, it doesn't really matter. The sensor head is in this filtered area here. So the oil has to be at least above the sensor head in order to get an accurate measurement. There are two sensors in here. There's a relative saturation sensor and a temperature sensor, and combined they are used to calculate the ppm. The other thing, what we want to look at, is the configuration of the plumbing assembly. We have what we call a quick connect plug, a fitting body, and a clasp nut. Now the clasp nut is not a compression fitting. It is actually an O-ring fitting that you only hand tighten and then tighten a quarter turn so that you don't score the probe. In this way, you can adjust the depth of the probe to any level that you want. Okay? In addition, you can use the quick connect fitting to mount it into a drain valve, but you don't have to. You can take the quick connect fitting off, slides right off like that, and then you can take the fitting body off and mount it to any valve. Then you put the sensor in, you open the valve, push the sensor down, close your fitting. You're going to let any gas escape until you get oil coming out, and then you're going to hand tighten it, and then quarter turn. Okay? Some people ask me if we can do oil samples in a jar. And yes, we can. The easiest way to do that is to put the oil sample in the jar and just put the probe in and swirl it at about this rate for about 60 seconds. If it's a plastic jar, I wouldn't really recommend it because plastic tends to absorb moisture and the reading will be constantly changing. However, if it's a glass jar, it's easily done. Just make sure that the oil level is at least past the sensor head, and that when you're swirling it, you don't pull the sensor out of the oil. In addition, if the sample jar is just a small hole at the top, what you can do is take the hold at the top and just swirl the whole thing like this in order to get a reading. And like I said, it takes anywhere from about 30 to 60 seconds. The moisture and oil sensor is designed to connect directly up to a transformer drain valve, and while you're draining the oil, to read out in parts per million on the indicator. So it's actually quite simple. We take the protective cap off of the probe and get it ready. We then come up to our transformer drain valve, and we add our adapter that fits onto it after you clean it out. As you can see, I'm having a little bit of difficulty. Okay. And we want to make sure that the hose barb is pointing downwards, because that's where you're going to drain the oil out of. All we do is we add our probe with our quick connector and click it in. And now it's ready for use. What we're going to do is, the best way to get a good reading is to have oil passing through the manifold at a rate of about 1/4 or 1 liter per minute. And that's easily timed using your watch and a bottle. Make sure that you're able to drain an oil into a receptacle that you can then dispose the oil of in a correct fashion. The double indicator for this USS consists of a rechargeable battery that is in the back here. It comes with an AC adapter that you plug into any wall outlet. Now, the AC adapter comes with a variety of different plugs that will meet many different countries' requirements, and they are housed in this toolkit here. When you first start the Domino USS, it needs to be charged for at least 4 hours. So be prepared to have it charged for 4 hours before you actually use it. This one happens to be charged. And what we're going to do now is, before we turn it on, we're going to plug in our probe. And that's how the indicator recognizes which probe is in there. So now we're going to turn it on. And you will see that it's going to start the measurement directly. It's measuring temperature, relative saturation, and ppm, water and ppm. What we can do is, there's actually a graphic key on here, and we can actually graph our parameters, which is very beneficial for our field testing. The other thing we can do here is that we can actually select up to 4 different oils, where they're labeled 1 through 4. The oils are regular mineral oil, number 1. Number 2 is a very aged mineral oil. Number 3 is a silicone oil. And number 4 is a composite of the natural esters that are presently on the market. Or if you want to, you can change the algorithm yourself. It is directly changeable within the transmitter and easy to do so. So let's go through the steps of how to change, or how to select the algorithm that we want to use. Right now, the default algorithm is for new or in-service aged transformer oils. But say we want to do natural esters, which is our oil number 4. We click on any key to get into the menu, and you hit the soft key to access the menu. Once you do that, we're going to go down to Settings, and then we're going to select that. We're going to go down to Measurement Settings, and we're going to select that. Oops. You can see here that oil number 1 has the algorithm that we show there. There's 2 components for each algorithm. But say I don't want oil number 1, I actually want the natural ester. So I'm going to hit set, and then I'm going to select my number, which I know is 4. Then I'm going to hit OK, and then I'm going to exit. And as you can see, the temperature and the relative saturation is the same, but the parts per million is completely different than what it was before. And that's because there is more water insoluble in natural esters than in oil. So let's go back and actually go back to our transformer mineral oil for the rest of the presentation. So we're just going to go back down again and select it again. And we're back to what we had for transformer mineral oil. Now in the case of the moisture and oil sensor, you could see it comes with what we call a quick connect plug, which is used to go into the quick connect fitting of our manifold. So when you take this out, you just have to pat it dry in a clean cloth, put the cap on if you wish. If you don't, that's okay too, and put it back into its case, like that. So in this case, we have the sampling, oil probe, we have the indicator, we have the AC adapter with components, and we also have our manifold. In addition, we have a small toolbox here that contains a variety of parts for your use. One is a tool to help you push the probe in if you need it. It's called a press tool. Other parts include the plugs which go with the AC adapter. And then there's other plumbing components that are available to help you connect to different apparatus. In some cases, you will not be able to find a 2-inch fitting that we have here. But we made it so you can easily remove it and replace it with your own adapter that fits up to your type of transformers. Also, besides the manual, is a laminated quick start guide to help you just follow along a few quick, easy steps to help you start the process of sampling the transformer oil in the field. Let's move now to another kit. So that was our moisture and oil USS kit. We also have a dew point kit. And what the dew point kit will consist of, let's just remove some of these parts here.